Hey guys, it's Christina Marie and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're brand new. Today I am going to talk about 10 mistakes that cruise travelers make on cruise ships related to eating in the dining room. So please do not make any of these 10 mistakes. The first mistake that I've seen cruise travelers make is skipping gala night. So gala night on cruise ships is usually the one night where you can get steak, maybe lobster, and fancy dishes. So if you're going to choose a night to skip the formal dining room, do not make it a gala night. Don't go to a specialty restaurant on gala night. Make sure that you eat in the dining room. It is the best room and they have the best food on gala night on cruise ships. The second mistake that I've seen cruise travelers make is not making a formal dining reservation. This is specifically for Holland America cruise travelers as well as other cruise travelers too. If you don't have a set seating time or a dinner reservation, you might end up standing in a really long line to get a table each night. In contrast, if you have a set dining room time with a set waiter each night, it's a smooth, easy process to eat in the dining room each night. So don't make that mistake. I highly recommend you have a set seating time with the same waiter each night. Okay, the third mistake that cruise travelers make in dining rooms is staying too late. So cruise ships have two different eating times, and usually the waiters have to get ready for the second seating. So it's only polite that once you are done with your meal for you to get up and go. Don't make them start politely cleaning up the tables to encourage you to leave. So a standard cruise dinner time is about 90 minutes long, an hour and a half, max 2 hours. If you have been sitting at your dining room table for more than 2 hours, it's time to leave. And you'll notice that the waiters start clearing off the tablecloths and setting the dishes for the next seating. So just be polite, and after you are done with your meal, chat for a little bit. But if it's been more than 2 hours, it's time to get up and go. The fourth mistake that I've seen cruise travelers make in the dining room, it's kind of small, but forgetting to pass the bread. Often cruise ships have bread and butter at the center of the table. If you're not interested in it, just make sure to pass it to the person next to you, just to be polite. Side note, if you ever forget which is the drink and which one's your bread, just go like this, and this forms a, what is it? D. This is a D over here, so your drink's on the right, and this is the B over here, so your bread's on the left-hand side of you. That's just a little trick to know which one's your bread plate. Okay, this mistake number 5 that people make on cruise ships in the dining room is showing up late. So it's just rude to do to the dining room waiters, to be honest. They are really efficient and really good at what they do, but they have everything set up to get all of the orders, put in the food, and then bring it out. So if you show up late, it throws off the rhythm of what they do. It's also rude to any other people that may be dining with you who showed up on time. So if you have a set dining time, if you're supposed to be at your table at 5:30 p.m., that means be at your table at 5:30 p.m. Mistake number 6 that I've seen cruise travelers make on cruise ships in the dining room is just negative talk and complaining. If you are at a table with other people that you don't know on the cruise, it's just polite to not complain too much, avoid politics, keep the conversation light. Good questions to ask your dining mates are, what did you do today? What are you guys doing tomorrow? Have you cruised a lot with this cruise line? How does this cruise compare to that cruise? So those are good, easy topics to talk about. Usually people enjoy talking about what they did on the cruise ship that day. The seventh mistake that I've seen cruise travelers make in the dining room is ordering another dish after other people have already finished. So this happens a lot when it comes to appetizers or entrees. I've seen some people, only seen men do it, that they might order like a shrimp appetizer and everybody else got one appetizer. And then once everybody else is done, ready to have their entrees, they'll be like, oh, I want another shrimp appetizer. That was so good. So then the waiter has to put in the order, send it out to the person, and then we all have to wait for that one person to finish their appetizer before we can eat our entree. So if you anticipate wanting 2 appetizers, that's totally cool. If you anticipate wanting 2 entrees, that's totally cool. Just make sure to put in your orders when you first give your order to the waiter for the night. Just let them know right ahead of time that you want 2 entrees or 2 appetizers so that you're not throwing off the groove of the waiter and making other people wait. The 8th mistake that I've seen people make in dining rooms on cruise ships is picking the wrong dessert. So this is specifically for you Holland America cruise travelers, but I've noticed that the dessert descriptions aren't necessarily always accurate. So if you want the best dessert, I highly recommend you just ask your waiter what he or she recommends. If you want to be healthy, a little tip is that most cruise ships you can ask for fresh fruit for dinner or a cheese plate instead. The 9th mistake that cruise diners, mistakes that people make in the dining room on cruise ships is not reading the really small symbols at the bottom of menus. So on Holland America Cruise Line, which is what I usually cruise, they have little symbols that show like what's gluten-free and what's sugar-free. So make sure to look for those tiny little symbols. I've also noticed that a lot of the desserts are sugar-free, which is a good thing or a bad thing. If you're like me, you don't like fake sugar, avoid those desserts because they probably won't taste as good and they have fake sugar in them. Okay, and then the 10th mistake that I've seen people make on cruise ships is more like people that are trying to watch their waistline on a cruise ship, and they make choices that they think are good but are actually bad. So an example of this is people on cruise ships who order a salad trying to be healthy, but then they dump a lot of dressing on it. So that's kind of counterintuitive. Or they try to be really healthy by ordering maybe the pasta instead of the meat dish, but the pasta is really creamy. So if ever in doubt, usually the fish or the chicken is a low calorie option on cruise ships, or if you're ever unsure, you can just ask the waiter. You can also ask for the chef to use a little bit less butter or oil, and watch the sauces. That's where a lot of fat and calories is hidden. Okay, so those are just 10 simple mistakes that people make on cruise ships. Hopefully you don't make any of those mistakes. Show up on time to dinner, make a dinner reservation, make sure to go to gala night, look at the menu closely, be nice to the people that you're talking to, don't complain, don't be negative, and show up on time, and have fun. Have fun in the dining room. It's a great thing to do on cruise ships. If you have any questions about cruise ships, Holland America Cruise Line, my makeup, I also blog about beauty and makeup for women, leave a comment below. And if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Thanks, guys.